There we go. All right. All right. All right. All right. Oh, what up, man? Oh, I can't hear you.
My bad, I was on mute. What's
Oh,
happening?
I
What's
got
good,
you.
everybody?
Chilling. I'm chilling. What up, Rob? Q will be on the way. He already hit me. I'm gonna go ahead and put this link in the YouTube comment section for the members. Yep, yep. Man, I was in there taking a damn nap. I, I sent you that text, you and Ralph that text, man, and I was knocked out.
I look back to see, I was like, they ain't say nothing back, did he?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I figured as much. I was just checking, so
Mm-hmm.
but yeah. Yeah, it's been a crazy ass week. Crazy ass week, bro.
What's,
Yeah.
what's been going on? You been all over the place?
Yeah, had a show to go to Monday. James Acaster, who's a comedian, invited us out.
Mm.
So yeah, so I've been crashing around 2:30 at night.
Yeah.
So so yeah, if the market is down tomorrow, I'm definitely taking the day off and just gonna kind of lounge and chill a little bit. Yeah. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it was yeah, Target dropped. I got Target on a good ass deal. If it holds. That shit dropped 15%.
You gotta start calling me on that stuff because I done let mine kind of go to the wayside and just let the money sit there.
Yeah, it's nothing you can do right now. So yeah, once things turn around, I'll let you know. But yeah, you're just kind of sitting to wait, man. I'm just kind of right now. I'm just building an account for dividends.
Mm-hmm.
Catching some of these things as they're on sale for right now, and then go from there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it just gotta wait. Now that the midterms are settled, things should get a little bit more stable.
Right.
Uh, so we'll see. We'll see. Let's see. Hey Noah, I had Twitter stop, man. They once it went private, man. They sold my shit. They sold my shit. I mean, So I can't. I had bought it, years ago. So yeah, they sold it. Yeah, I want to get Amazon Ant-Man, and I'm waiting for Tesla to kind of stabilize. I know it tried to rebound today, but I don't think it got it past 185, and I think it went back down to 182. And that was the last I saw. So I don't know if it's gonna hold 182. So it
How
might
often
get all the way down to 160
you check every? How often do you be checking?
every day, man. I
Mm-hmm.
Every day I'll be at the computer, man, just looking at charts and studying.
Mm.
Yep. So all right, well, I was hoping Q would pop up, but he's probably getting situated. Okay, I don't know what that was. So we'll get started. We'll get started. This is the place where sports opinions collide. Dennis Sports. I'm your host, Kenneth Beans. Joining me on the show, we have Shelton J.
What's happening? What's happening?
And Q will be with us. He is on the way. You're now tuned into the best live sports talk show on YouTube. No filter, no agendas, just when we sitting around talking sports. As we get ready to kick things off, please hit that thumbs up button, that like button, and leave a comment and share the show on and let everybody know that we are now live. If you're not a member, you can join by going to youtube.com/Sports and clicking the join button. We do a call-in show every other Thursday.
Yes, sir.
And tonight's one of those nights. So the link to the call-in show will be in the members section on the YouTube channel. So if you want to leave us your takes, ask us questions or whatnot, be sure to hit us up. Right now, I was looking at the calendar earlier. We won't do a show next week, of course. It's a holiday week. And after that, there are really only 3 more shows left in December in the year. The first 3 weeks in December, and then everything is shut down studio wise for the last 2 weeks of the year. That's typically how we do it. If something happened, of course, we'll pop up, and you'll still get daily videos until the end of the year. As for right now, I don't know what the plans are in terms of keeping that going for the next year. But yeah, that's where we are right now. And then maybe we'll do something different. I don't know. But yeah, tonight and then 3 more shows after that. And that'll be it. So yep.
Man,
So let's see. CD, he benched Watson for Lazard. I want to quit fantasy.
don't say that yet.
Uh
It's a long time left to go in this game, and Lazard may get off. I
yeah.
don't,
Well, I
I
mean,
don't,
what is Watson doing something? What happened?
he scored a touchdown, but he don't do much other than that. He'll catch a pass every now and again, but I don't see him doing much.
Yeah, he's a touchdown a bust.
That was a huge stop just now on fourth down, though, by the Packers.
Yeah, I gotta pull it up. Man, I almost picked up Traylon Burks. I think I play you, Shelton,
Yeah, I think so.
and I'm in a bad situation, bro.
Everybody on bye weeks or something for you?
Yes. Not only that, um, like I got Jerry Judy, but he may not play, so I might have to drop him.
You got Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Cup's done, Waller's done, Tua and Tyreek Hill on a bye week. So it's ugly. I was hoping to keep my streak going, but that may not be the case because I got to pick up some streaming quarterback and find somebody to plug in for a wide receiver spot. I don't know if this is the one that has Watson. I did pick up Christian Watson because I needed, a bye week streamer. So I'm glad he scored. So at least that's 7.4 points. I'll take that and hopefully do something else. But I almost picked up Traylon Burks because I saw he was back, and I
Yeah.
can't close. But I don't know. I was I hesitated because he had been hurt and he really done anything. But I've had a feeling that Ryan Tannehill would help, but I only needed him for 1 week, and I'm hoping Jerry Judy is able to play and at least get on the court on the field for something.
Yeah.
So I don't want to drop Judy, so I might just have to take the L this week and just save it for the playoffs.
Yeah, Jerry Judy. I'm still waiting on Jerry Judy to wake up and do something.
I am too, but I got him off waivers, so he's a good streaming pickup for me if he would have played compared to everybody else. So, but yeah, I'm with you, man. I think it's him. Yeah, I think he has the talent, but I think it's him. I think it's the offense. I think it's Russell Wilson. I think it's the coach. I think there's a lot of things that's going on with the Broncos. Russell Wilson was supposed to unlock him and Sutton.
Man, I
And
saw something. I saw something today, and I did not read it, but it was saying Russell Wilson was calling audibles from Seattle. Like, I need to go back and find that article. It was on Yahoo, but they were saying that Russell Wilson was calling audibles from Seattle in the last game.
Wow. Wow, that's not good.
Yeah, Seahawks wire. He's losing his mind. Broken Russell Wilson using the old Seahawks audibles with Broncos.
My thing is, what does that say about him? So, is he not studying the playbook? Does he not know? Is he really losing his mind? And how does that sit with your teammates? It's like, bro, what are you doing? Like, in this part of the season, Oh, that should be cleaned up. And if you're an elite quarterback, you should be doing that at all. That shouldn't happen.
Right.
Yeah. So
They're,
that's
they're
that.
like they're like he's using code words that the guys don't know. That's crazy. Now
Yeah, that's
that's
pretty
just
bad.
crazy.
That's pretty bad. Yeah, no, that shouldn't be happening. Yeah, ooh, somebody asked us about Prime. Do y'all watch the alternate cast of games like the Prime Vision or Celebrity Cast that Prime Bison like Madden? Nah, I just
I,
have it on my iPad.
I don't either. I can't. I don't. I've never been able to get into even the Manning cast. I understand why people like it, but I don't know. I'm just used to the traditional sounds. I can't really get into anything else while the game is going on.
You don't like the Madden cast?
I don't. You know what? And let me explain. It's not that I don't like it. It's just not suitable for me. I'm so traditional when it comes to certain stuff. I like
Mm,
hearing these guys. You know what I'm saying? Even
mm.
if these guys aren't good, I'd rather listen to this than I don't like the way it sounds. If that makes sense, I like to hear the sounds of the game. With that, you hear them. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. I do. Yeah, I don't know. I like hearing them talk football and explain certain things from their perspective that we don't normally get. To have that type of insight is kind of cool. So that's why I kind of like it.
Who do you think is the black equivalent of that?
Of which one?
Of the Mannings? Like who do you like? I'm not saying like who do you think, but like who would you bring
Who
on in that role, like the black version of that?
did you see LeBron? I heard LeBron was doing. Are they doing it?
I have no idea. I just
I
know that
heard
like mhm.
I heard that they were supposed to do it with the shot tonight.
That's interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
That is interesting.
to me, if we're talking about like two, like I'm basically asking like who are two insightful like former players that you would put in like the Manning cast slot if you had to
I got
replace
you.
them. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's funny?
What?
I I like that. The Beans, you're absolutely right. The Beans said dead in sports. He is that's true. We are that. But what Q's talking about is like people that played, and Alden J said exactly what I was thinking. I liked what I Am Athlete was in the beginning. That cast from the beginning before it all got messed up, I would like to listen to them do it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Because that I Am Athlete was dope at first with those guys.
It's kind of like the Joe Budden podcast. Like the original cast were so
Yeah,
dope, and now both have like splintered off, and it's like they both do good work time and time again, but like it's not the same vibe no more, man. It's like
you're right.
when Ocho, Fred, and Brandon will argue, it would just be funnier, man.
Right. And that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. That was so refreshing to see them all on there together. And see, with those guys, it felt like they had nothing to lose. Even
Mm-hmm.
with Ryan Clark, even though I love Ryan Clark to death, he has to protect this image, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
So he can't really be
Messy.
like, yeah, he can't be like one of the boys.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he still got to, ESPN still
Yeah.
first, So it's kind of like,
Yeah.
but that first cast, I really, really loved them a lot.
Absolutely. I
So
mean,
yeah,
for me, I think it's one of the funnier podcasts, but it certainly has fallen off when it was just I Am Athlete, the whole unified cast, man. That was
hmm
like a golden era, I think, of when the space of former players turn voice was fresh. And now that it's kind of like been oversaturated, everybody and their mama got a podcast now. Like I'm saying this on the podcast. So it's like um it's just made it harder for I think people to gravitate towards just one voice as being
yeah.
what I mean. So everybody and their mama got thousands of opinions now on one play.
You know who else I would love? It's crazy would never, be able to happen, but
Who?
like a Deion Sanders, T.O., and
Mm-hmm.
maybe Deion Sanders, T.O., and maybe who's the third person I
Do
had?
you know? Do you know what I would want to see in that? Also, just add on to the Shannon Sharp.
Oh, yeah,
I would want
I was
Shannon
thinking
Sharp would be good.
I was gonna
Shannon.
say that.
Shannon is playing himself, yo. Shannon is playing himself, and this is just me speaking as a little Nanette. This is nephew talk, and I know I'm being ignorant to uncle. So, you know what I mean. Regardless of what I think, about certain things that Shannon Sharp has said and done, I do still look at him as my black brother. So I will say that as my elder, I think he's undervaluing himself,
Yeah.
regardless of how much money he's getting at Fox. I think
Mhm.
that he's so much better than the Club Shay Shay brand. I think he's so much better than that because
Mhm.
what he does casually every day on Undisputed, when he can just like casually break down a play for Skip. Skip don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Right.
Skip just gets back to his talking points, but he brings up like Skip. He's in the flat and he's supposed to flex out. We call that blah, but he knows all the concepts. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like he should be, in my opinion, like in a slot for a network the way Tony Romo is like the superstar for that. But instead, we have to relegate the Shannon Sharps of the world to Hennessy and Club Shay Shay, and you know what I mean. And I just think that's a disservice to the genius that he is on the football field.
Correct. You know who else with Shannon?
Cool.
Sterling. Shannon and
Yeah.
Sterling together
Yeah,
would be good.
that's actually perfect. That literally the man.
Mm.
That's the black version.
That
They
black
need to bring
version
the
of man.
Sharps in.
And,
Yep.
and Sterling, he can do it. We've heard Sterling on
Mhm.
TV, and we've seen him talk.
Mhm.
He's like a lighter version of Shannon, so to speak.
Mhm.
He's not as as funny as Shannon, but them together would work better. I think Skip dumbs down Shannon, which we all know this, and it turns it more
A
into
circus.
entertainment. Yes, it's more. He has to be more entertainment than he is knowledge and talent.
I
So
mean, what's the difference between Jimmy Fallon and Undisputed? Like it's literally a variety show with sports, but the topic and the genre is sports, but it's all variety. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like Jimmy Fallon can have as many serious moments as Skip and Shannon do, and they
Right,
talk about probably talk about the same amount of sports
right,
in depth on Jimmy Fallon as they do on Undisputed. You know what I mean? Like in terms of how deep they get on the game. When Shannon tries to go there, Skip always brings it back to the service level, like just casual speak of, does he really want it? I don't know if he wants it. You know what I mean? It's just that type of talk. I like the X's and O's, and I also like the laughs that Shannon can provide. But beyond just him, there's a multitude of guys. Like you said, Terrell Owens. I think he'll be great. I think Chad Ochocinco. Chad is too good living his life right now with him and
yeah,
his beautiful wife. You know what I'm saying, and his beautiful family. But if Chad were able to get in that role, I think he could kill that because he's a genius on the football field too. He would be able to break down those X's and O's. I think he could be like the next level of, not like next level, but he could be the continuation of like a Stuart Scott ilk of breaking down, sports and
right.
whatnot.
And he got the personality to win to
Right.
match. So I
Right.
love Ocho Cinco. I wanted Ocho Cinco and To together. I
Yeah.
think when they talk to each other and they balance off each other,
Yeah.
it's a great chemistry. And like I said, we know what Dion is as far as entertainment goes.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, we know these guys are entertaining naturally,
Mm-hmm.
and they know sports. So that's
Mm-hmm.
that's why I think it'd be a positive to watch something like that. I would watch that
Absolutely.
all day.
Absolutely.
Hey, real quick, I forgot to tell y'all, man. Happy Founders Day to the brothers of Omega Psi Phi My fraternity. Shout out to all y'all that's watching and that's gonna watch later on, man. Love y'all, boys.
Salute to the bros, man. Always,
Yeah.
always bring the Hennessy. Y'all always just turn up. Y'all always appreciate y'all for doing it, honestly.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, Ken, I got some topics and some hot takes if you want to get into it.
Yeah. Let's do it.
All right. So, hot take number one: James Wiseman is a bust.
Mm.
I think we close, man. I really want to see what happens after he spends some time in the G League.
How much more time?
Whenever they bring him back, they they made a comparison to Jordan Poole, even though Jordan Poole was drafted way later.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, like I see the talent, at times whenever he plays, but it's something is missing. And the article I read when they were talking about it, they were making it seem like he just hasn't played enough basketball.
That's
And
it.
he just needs to get those reps in, game to game reps in over and over again. But yeah, as a number 2 pick, you're in that organization. They're really good at developing talent or getting the most out of what you can do. And they haven't been able to get anything out of him. So, but I'm confident in Her's assessment of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be curious to see what happens when he comes back and can actually play.
Well, I feel that and I understand it, but my question is, what would it have taken? What would he be averaging, and what would he be doing right now for us to not be saying he's a bust? Would he be the number 2 option on that team, number 3, or what would it have taken for him to not have been a bust?
Uh, I don't know if he would be the well if he was fully healthy and had a chance to develop over the first 2 years of his career. With everything that's going on with Clay, he possibly could have been the second option. You know, if his talent was able to actually flourish, because they need another guy to help Steph out. But if at worst case he can be a third piece in what they do. But right now he can't he's not even that. Like you're not even better than Looney, bro. And
Right.
that's not shitting on Looney. Looney did some
People
great things in the
disrespect Looney,
finals.
man. Yeah, people
But bro,
disrespect him.
like you when you were drafted, you supposed to be on the court. You should have been starting.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yes.
know, and he's not. And that a lot of that was health and just not being able to get on the court.
It just
But
go ahead, Sheldon. What you think about it?
I'm gonna give him a little more time, and the only reason I'm giving him time, and I know this is his 3rd season, this is truly a rookie year when you really break it down and look at what he's been through
Okay.
at this point. And like you said, Ken, even in college, he went through injuries and stuff like that. So this guy really hadn't played basketball like that competitively in probably 4 or 5 years to where he's playing complete games and, getting in basketball shape to do this. Also, it's tough to come on a team like Golden State, the world champions, when you didn't even see the court and make
Mm-hmm.
an impact immediately. It's kind of hard to do. And I think in that case, it may take him a little longer to get acclimated and get right in the system and
Mm-hmm.
find his place. But I still think there's time for him to get it together. I saw flashes. I've seen him do a couple things here and there to make me say he got some stuff with him. He could grow from this, but it really depends on him. It's how much work he puts
Right.
in. I don't think it's in the
Right.
G League. I can't say he's gonna come back from the G League ready to go,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, I really would like to see how his health holds up and what he turns into. Some players take longer than others. They
Right.
just do. And I
Right.
think that he's going to be one of those ones, especially big men, because it took Looney this long. Looney wasn't. Looney was a detriment up until this past season. All that time,
He, was-
can't
he, was- he
nobody.
was he was an afterthought. Yeah, he was an afterthought.
Yeah, and it was like when he was on the floor, you was looking at
I
Miles.
was I was one of the few people who said, man, Looney would be a good backup for a lot of teams, but
Right.
I knew because can I just jump in here? I
Mhm.
think and I want people in the chat to also chime in on this. I think there's been a misdiagnosis by the Warriors front office, and I think it's a misdiagnosis on various fronts. One is the core is older than they thought
Yeah.
it was. You know what I mean? Like Draymond is still relatively similar to what he was last season, but he's had games where I'm just scratching my head. Clay is in a whole different galaxy. I don't know where he's at right now. I don't know where he's at mentally. I don't know where he's at on the floor. His body is not there right now, and I don't want to make fun of his injuries because that shit is traumatic. That shit is very tragic too for anybody who's dealt with injuries and dealt with anything that has taken 1 or 2 or 3 steps off of what you once were. It's like when Superman. It's like when Superman gets his powers taken from him. It's like the whole world changes. You know what I mean? So when Clay talks about Barkley picking on him, I feel like that's a very real indicator of struggles he's going through. When he talks about I can't play pickup in the offseason because I'm too scared. I'm just not there yet. He's saying these things. So this is making me think about just where they are on that front from the big three. I think there's been a misdiagnosis on how they won in the past, and it's not with developing young talent. The young talent of the NBA nowadays is a certain type of psyche, and they have to play through mistakes. If you expect them to go into situations where it's not also a bunch of other young guys who are either all trying to win or have won, like a Grizzlies situation is very rare. You're not going to find that. Most times you're going to be terrible, and if it's going to be a bunch of young guys, is what I'm saying.
Mhm.
But the Warriors misdiagnosed the fact that they thought that they could, while the big three was injured, they could kind of teach the kids how to run the system.
Right.
And then when the big three came back, it would just be like, oh wait, we just brought in like the Transformers to add into the other Transformers. Like, nah, bro, these people do not know anything about winning. And
Right.
it's very and it's evident on how Wiseman sees the floor. It's evident on how Poole's growing pains. So there's on that level. And then the players that the Warriors normally get, they're not young. They're normally either veterans or they're about to be veterans.
Right.
Wiggins was on the cusp of being considered a vet, and with his immediate skill set, they were able to morph him into the system. Barbosa, all those guys like Bogut. You think about how they won. It's never been with we're gonna develop these guys. They misdiagnosed it, and now they're paying the price. Steph looks amazing. He should be the MVP right now, just with the performances he's putting up. But they have to make they have to choose, Sheldon. They have to choose a road. You want to stay young, or you trading off the young guys? You trading? You know what I mean?
I'm looking at Poole too, like kind of heavy too.
Yeah.
Like Poole got some wiggle with him. He got some stuff, but is it translating into successful basketball? What is he learning from the Clays and the Stephs of the world? You know what I'm saying?
His body's not there yet.
And that's what I'm seeing too. So I'm really looking at his work ethic and how he's working and what's going on with him. Was the Draymond thing overblown? Was it like Draymond,
or was it spot on?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was gonna say. Is that what's happening? Because I'm not impressed with Poole. I'm looking at Poole.
Yeah.
There's a couple of guys who this year I was looking to take a step that I'm not impressed with, that I'm not happy with right now. I'm not happy with LaMelo Ball.
Yeah.
I'm not, because I see the same players I saw before.
I saw the same player from 2 years ago.
Same thing from 2 years ago. That's my guy, of course, but I don't see an improvement. And Poole, I see Poole every now and again. Like I said, he'll do something. Whoa, that's dope. But where's the consistency in that game? You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm looking for. So I see that as a hurt too. But to answer your question about Wiseman, I'm going to give Wiseman a little more time, probably than most. The only reason is because, like I said, him playing competitive basketball, I hadn't seen it long enough to say he ain't it.
You know what Wiseman could be? There's a lot of scenarios, and I'm going to just give you what normally guys like him, this is normally what happens. And we're going to move on to the next hot take after this, or if we got super chats. Normally when it comes to guys like Wiseman, he's either going to pan out this season after coming back from a G League stint. That's one option. Number two is after this season of not playing, he just gets traded somewhere else and he flourishes. That's another option.
Right.
The third option is he goes to another team and he's still bad. Then they keep trying to play him. They cut him. And then he's either a free agent and has to go overseas, G League again, and scrap his way on multiple teams and become great and good like Christian Wood had to do, or you're just not going to be good, man. There's really no other option but that. There's only a certain amount of paths guys in the NBA can take. So Wiseman, you got a couple more shots left, and off of the pedigree of his draft status where he was taken, they're gonna keep giving shots to him, but it's like they're not gonna give an infinite amount. So yeah.
Right. Yeah. Don't be surprised to see him in Brooklyn.
No, absolutely. And number two, that's where we also need to go for the second hot take. Tear the whole thing down. Is that a hot take for Brooklyn? Tear the entire thing down. There is no salvaging it. Is that a hot take? Overreaction or what?
That's probably what you're gonna have to do, because it really is. And I saw reports out again on Ben Simmons. Everybody's extremely frustrated with Ben today, and it's coming from inside sources that people that are in the situation, they're done with him. They're fed up with the excuses. They fed up with the fact that he had one of his best games, which is 11 points in that big loss, but they're not getting they're not getting anything from him. And his excuse to that was, look, my knee is acting up. I had to get blood drained off my knee. These are real injuries. I had back surgery last year. He has excuses, but they ain't trying to hear it. They're not trying to hear it in Brooklyn. And I'm talking about his teammates, the organization, coaches. Everybody's fed up at this point, which Q, we was fed up last year. So
Bro, no. I was fed up after. I was fed up after the Celtic series.
right, right.
I was like, but if people can go back and listen to those archives when we all look and sound so much younger, but oh my goodness, I was ripping Ben Simmons apart after the Celtic series. I said we have to trade him. There is no reason why we need to keep him on the roster. We can get
Right.
good value for him right now. Everyone said I was crazy. Not y'all, but just people. Because this is back when we was doing off the bench podcast, classic podcast. And then the second time was after the Raptors series when I'm like, why didn't he also chase Kawhi with Joel to be a corner? I'm like, this dude don't want to win, dude. I'm like, no, I don't like him. And I'm like, we need to trade him and we need to let Tobias Harris walk. Because remember, we traded for him and he had 1 year left on his deal. So he was expiring. I said, oh, this is a perfect position. We can trade Ben Simmons for a guy like Zach LaVine. I remember telling Ken remembers this shit. I was telling him, I'm like, we could trade Ben for Zach LaVine and then let Tobias walk and go bring in more shooters and just sign Jimmy back. And what they did was the exact opposite. Let Jimmy walk, sign Ben, and then sign Tobias to a 4-year, $180 million deal, and then trade Mikal Bridges the very next month. And I'm like, dude, no, it was over from then. So, but that's been the story of Ben Simmons, though, is everywhere he's gone, it's just like a Grim Reaper is followed, yo. It's just like, yo, what the hell? It's like he got a root on him or something, So,
and whenever I think about him, I just think about him at practice with that phone in his pocket.
yeah,
I can't get that image out of my head, man. I'm like, come on, bro. Like you get some fight about you. I'd be pissed. I mean, everybody on this show, we're passionate about what we do. We'd be pissed if we out there and somebody talking about us like this. And I want him to have a little bit of that. Just if that was my brother, my son, my cousin, I'd be snatching them up. So man, if you don't prove to these people who you are.
For everybody who's wondering what we're talking about specifically about the article in question, Ben Simmons was in a basically damn near confessional, like with Shams Charania, and they were asking him about what he's going through, and he said, "No, I'm really hurt. People who think I'm faking, you know what I mean? Why would I fake it?" And it's like if y'all came home, right? Hypothetical, any man comes home to like their wife, and they in the kitchen like, "Hey, honey," and she turn around like, "I didn't cheat," and it's like, "What?" And it's like that's what Ben Simmons is doing in his interview. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where she's like, I had to get scopes on my knees every other week, dude. I'm not lying about that. Why would I lie about that? Because people in your team said, dude, we see you on the sideline. You're not doing nothing. You ain't even rehab. You just sitting down. And like you see guys like Markieff Morris show up in the article who say or who are quoted and talking about, other teammates are questioning you, blah, blah, blah. What do you have to say about that? And Ben is just deflecting the whole entire thing, man. It just really reeks of like somebody who's just been given like a chariot through life, man. It just reeks, man. Ken, do you think this mentality is seeping into a lot of young guys? Like we just talked about Jordan Poole and LaMelo and even Luka, as talented as he is, there just seems to be not more complaining or more pouting. I don't want to make that type of antiquated argument, but I'm saying I feel like there's more of a presence of entitlement that comes from young stars that was more so reserved in earlier years for like you had to be that nigga. And it's like a couple of these guys think that, oh, because I got a couple 30-point games, I'm amazing. So you think this is possible, or am I overreacting on that?
I think Jordan Poole definitely had to work to get what he earned. And I think at this point now he's probably feeling a little bit entitled because he's gotten paid. There's a saying, people say it all the time, like once you get that money, he ain't play the same. That's a common thing for a reason, because it seems to manifest itself over and over again with certain players. With Ben Simmons, a lot of what his issues are is because growing up he was that guy, and he got coddled a lot. And I didn't really hear about this until later on. But yeah, And that's why sometimes like these reports that we hear, like for me, I make mental notes because sometimes they come around and manifest themselves. So the way he was, being treated or babysitted at LSU,
Mhm.
he expected the same thing when he came to the league, and it's not like that.
Mhm.
But for a while it was, and then it got to a point when, and we saw how he acted because he wasn't used to being criticized. Everybody was. Who said that? Somebody said that in the chat that he was the media darling, and that's right.
Yeah.
People love Ben Simmons, man, and
Mhm.
Nation said that. So he
Mhm.
was adored by everybody. He wasn't even doing shit. They were just liking what he could do if he gets a job, not if, when he get this thing. So for Ben Simmons, he was there. He had arrived. And then it all came crashing down and he wasn't used to it. He wasn't mentally tough.
Mhm.
And that is a real thing. You have to be mentally tough, man. You have to be able to deal with adversity. And
Right.
he's proven over and over again that he can't do it. And now here you are in another organization that babysitted you as well. But that's only going to go so far with KD, bro, and a lot of other players. And Kyrie, them guys have earned their stripes. They have titles.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
KD has multiple rings, man. And
Mhm.
Kyrie is known for hitting the shot. There's
Mhm.
the block, and then there's the shot. That's Kyrie.
Mhm.
That helped give Cleveland their first. His legacy is sealed.
Mhm.
But what have you done, Ben?
That's what I'm
Nothing.
saying.
Not take layups.
Mhm.
Right. If
Mhm.
he could have just tapped into the skill set he had, who knows where Philly could be?
Bruh.
We lament about Doc Rivers and et cetera, but
Mm.
understand that Ben Simmons held that team back. They shouldn't have
Yep.
lost to the Hawks like that.
Come on now. Don't
Mhm.
even get me started. And I feel like this is where we're at now in the NBA. A lot of these guys, they get, and shout out to the chat because they brought up the exact point. It's really an economic thing. And, the economic thing that impacts your psyche when you're in the NBA. When guys in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, and even semi early 2010s, the money was not there. Like the big China deal really like boom, like the money was there. Like the advertising, you know, guys like Duncan Robinson getting paid 90 million. We always bring this up, thinking about how what Shaquille O'Neal had to beg Jerry West for $100 million to get to the Lakers, and then Duncan Robinson now in this day and age, 90 million. Now a dollar is not the same dollar in the 90s as it is now, but the principle is the same of valuation is valuation. So what that does to guys like Poole, LaMelo, what it does to Anthony Edwards, what it does to whoever, name it, Kevin Porter Jr., Jalen Green. You see the Rockets are beefing with each other every game. That's the most dysfunctional team in the NBA. And I
Crazy.
and I think it's because these kids come up in these farm systems and they come up in these incubators where everything they do is catered to them. Everything that they do is like a chariot. You know what I mean? They just kind of get the golden boy treatment throughout being a 4-star recruit. They go to academies when they're in high school, and they become the big man on campus. They get whatever they want. They get to eat whatever they want. They get all the girls, blah, 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 blah. Then they get a big contract. And
Right.
then it's like, now you're already set in your ways because whatever you did to train to get you there, you're gonna keep normally training in within that same range. Very few guys actually give a fuck enough to actually switch up their training to want to be great. It really
Right.
takes a different type of psyche, and I think that they've taken that out of the game more with the lack of defense. I think they're taking it out of the game with the fact that these kids are all friends when they get to the league. So
Mhm.
social media, man. Like Dominique
Yeah.
couldn't call Jordan on Instagram Live and then beef about, "Hey, man, you touched me at the foul line, blah blah blah." They couldn't do that. You know what I mean? Paolo Banchero and DeJounte Murray can go back and forth for 3 minutes on Twitter and whatnot, and everyone can laugh about it because everyone can connect. But what that does though is it makes it really a joke. It's not
Yeah.
real animosity.
And I was gonna say too, those players weren't having dinner after games with each other too from
Yep.
opposing teams. Those guys, man, they really knew they came from humble beginnings, and they wanted to be great. That was a level that these guys back in the day wanted to get to, the Isaiah Thomas, of course, Michael Jordan, all those guys that you can think of, back Hakeem Olajuwon, he wanted to be great. That was his mission. His sole mission was to be the GOAT. And these guys worked their butt off to get there. And a lot of these guys come in with talent because they come in younger, more talented, we'll say. More athleticism, more talent. But what are you gonna do, what I'm saying, to take the step from year to year? What's gonna be the difference in your game? I'm looking for an improvement on of course we can use Jordan for an example, because that's easy. But even if you take Jordan, you see him come back and work on a turnaround jump shot. I remember he developed the turnaround.
Oh yeah.
And that became part of his game. Like, oh shoot, he got something new in the bag. Learning to
somebody like a Dwayne Wade. Like Dwayne Wade really transformed his game, knowing that his knees were not there anymore. So he had to all right, let me start pump faking more. Let me start being more ground based with my game. Let me get more around the basket. He worked on the Jordan fadeaways and all that stuff. He learned from Kobe as he got older. So but that's a certain mentality, because for those who saw the Dream Team, the Redeem Team documentary, they talk about the Kobe story of going to the weight room at 4 a.m. when guys are coming back from the club, and everyone knows what story it is. Kobe's gonna go in and get his work in. All the guys gonna either fall asleep or they're gonna get inspired. And Dwayne Wade was one of those guys. Melo was not Nick's favorite. So. But that's indicative though of a mentality thing. Melo was cool with just being already Hall of Fame great as he was, but there's a difference between Hall of Fame and like Pantheon. Like you can't tell the story of basketball without me. We can tell the story of basketball without Carmelo Anthony. We can't tell the story of basketball without Kareem, Magic, Mike, Larry. You because their mentality it's etched in stone. It's historic. You know what I mean? Guys can be noteworthy, and noteworthy is, amazing. But niggas build statues to you. That's when you're iconic. Like, yo, you did something. You know what I mean? So
that's the level I wish that a lot of these guys would strive to be. And like we talked about, this is the age of social media, and outside influences play a heavy part, which is good and bad, because these guys are doing more with their money, figuring things out outside. They're more businessmen today than they were back then. Back then, those guys were basketball or bust. These guys now, they got other businesses running. They're on Twitch. They're on on these social media sites running things. They're doing a lot, and I applaud that. But at the same time, don't forget what got you here, and become great at what you do. Become great at it, or be the best you can be. You really got to want that, and can't nobody want it for you. And it shows there's a difference in some of these guys. I saw somebody mention Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum is proving that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I like the pairing of him and Jaylen Brown, because I can feel it working. Like, they're probably trying to outwork each other, but at the same time, it's working. You know what I'm saying? We see an elevation. We see their game evolving to the next level of, I'm gonna get mine no matter what. You might as well cancel this out, because Jaylen gonna get his 30. He gonna get his. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't always the case. He was always talented, but you couldn't write in the book 30, Jaylen. That's it. Jason Tatum, 30. You can write that. You can put that in the book now. And that comes from work. That comes from work ethic, and just putting in the work to get where you were. Jaylen Brown is the perfect example of what we're talking about, because I saw the talent when he was at Cal.
We saw the athleticism. We didn't see the skill.
Yeah. And so for him to be where he is today, I didn't think he was gonna get there. I honestly thought this ain't gonna work out.
But it's no excuse that you can't get a little bit better at the things that you're weak at. I want to pause here, King, because I know we got a super chat from Josh Bros. We can get right back to it though.
Yeah, and then we got Rob on the line too. It's a. Well, I'm gonna ask these two football related questions. Then we'll get back to basketball. But Josh wanted to know: do you see Heineke becoming the starter for Washington for another couple of years?
Another 2, this year and next year. I think he has the job. I think, bro. I'm gonna be real with you. People are gonna kill me or whatever. I think Heineke is indicative of where the NFL is today. If the Washington football team does build around him. Not in a way necessarily of like going all the way in like he's our guy, but if Washington is smart and they're not, but if they were to hire people who were smart, I think they could do a similar strategy to what they've done with Jalen Hurts in Philly, with how they've bet on Hurts this year with acquiring talent, but they were, we were fluid enough to be able to bring in other guys if this was a disastrous year so far, and it's not. And I think if Heineke could be that type of, maybe he's not a bridge, maybe he is a bridge situation like we were in the beginning of the season, they could do something because I see the throws that are there. I just think maybe a coaching thing has to be the change there. I don't think Ron Rivera is a good coach personally. That's just my personal opinion. Um, and if Heineke was in a more like offensively talented, coach's system, I don't think you could not cover up his flaws. The way that they've accentuated Jalen Hurts' strengths, Heineke can move a little bit. He can throw the ball a little bit. And I think if they go get talent around, and they have talent, McLaurin and whatnot, I think they could do something. But they got to shore up the O line.
I I, I think they're going to draft a quarterback this year.
I
Look,
don't see they like that's also the reason why I don't think it's not then his job this year and next year. I think that they probably will, but they probably gonna sit him behind Heineke. And if Heineke is terrible at the start of next year, Ryan Fitzpatrick him.
that's what I was going to say. It'll probably be like a Will Levis from Kentucky, one of those type guys in the second round. So I can't see Heineke at least starting part of the year next year. But that's what I see him doing. What
Mm-hmm.
about you, Ken?
Um, Only because they may have no other options. I mean, Heineke isn't all that good. He's serviceable. He's a bridge quarterback, but with the right coach, you could probably squeeze some games out of him until you get the guy. So he'll probably be a bridge quarterback. So could he become, the guy for 2 years? Excuse me. Yeah, it's possible. They keep trying to give it to him. And here's another opportunity that he can get it, but we'll see. I think they're trying to throw Wentz back out there again, so um, we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
The other one that I have is from Chief Miyagi. Until further notice, Russ should be looked at how we did Gino before this year. An afterthought. So far, he looks cooked. This year's a wash.
So for those, Rush should be looked at how we did Chino before this year. Oh,
Basically, we shouldn't look at him at all.
I was gonna say the only reason I
that was
disagree.
that was a really nice way of calling him trash. That was really nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it really was.
the only reason I can't say that Chief Miyagi is because he's a starting quarterback. Before this, Gino, we didn't. A lot of people didn't even know Gino was still in the league. So you know,
I'm
I
not
can't.
selling. I'm not selling my stock on Russ yet. I'm just
Yeah,
not.
and the thing about it, like I said, he's still a starting quarterback in the league. So regardless, you got to kind of look at him.
Mm-hmm.
He's not really an afterthought because he plays every Sunday. If he was a backup, then I could say that, but or if you had another option to go to, but
Man,
yeah,
they got Freddie Kitchens Jr. down at the coach position for Denver. Man, I'm not trying to hear really much about Russ until they get him up out of there, and then I can
mhm.
really judge it because they need to go spend some money and go get Sean Payton to fix this.
Yeah.
Mm. Let's see. I think that was the last football related one. Um, Let me jump to since we're just wrapping up a conversation. Oh, and then I'm gonna bring Rob on after this. Josh Bros, I'm Australian, so I root for Ben Simmons, but it's hard to defend him anymore.
Mm.
Do you guys think it has anything to do with the fact that he is Australian and was seen as a big fish down here and now he not?
Mm.
Yes. That's
You
kind of what
know,
I was referring to a little bit earlier. Is that
Mhm.
he's been the guy since he was a teenager.
Mhm.
So he's always. I'm pretty sure he's gotten his way, and I'll throw the label spoiled brat, not literally, but in the sense that he probably didn't have to do anything with grades. He probably got the world given to him, and he didn't have to really work for anything. He probably was way better than anybody else that was on the court.
Mm-hmm.
So and then you get to LSU and I'm hearing it was the same thing. And now you get to the NBA, and for a while, you were adored in Philly, and now you're not. Now you got grown ass men calling you out, bro.
That's true. And he's not been able to handle it well at all. And we do talk about the LSU times. And I was a fan then, of course. And I look for him. I'm like, man, like I said, you can see flashes in him. You can see he had, some stuff to him, but it was like he fought against being that guy. You know what I'm saying? This whole time he's fought being the man. I'm like, dang, the rebound is right there. Look, put your hands up and get the rebound. Like, y'all you think I'm playing. There's times I feel it because I was always, I look at him like a video game. 16 guy playing 16 playing point guard, and you can get triple doubles. I'm like, get the rebound is fucking right. If you don't grab that rebound, and he wouldn't do it. He just wouldn't do it. He would just look at it. So I'm like, man, Ben is just Ben. And no, you can't defend it. You can't. And I don't want to hear the injuries. I don't want to hear about none of that because he does it when he ain't injured. He's just not that guy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Bring on Rob. What up, Rob?
Top of the evening, gentlemen.
What's happening, Rob?
All right, Rob. We also got Modest Media on the line. Oh no, I'm joking.
Hey, to give us a quick prayer.
Hey, yo, chill out.
Father,
Hey,
Son,
Rob,
Holy
Rob
Ghost.
catching shots. He getting shots on fucking Dennis Sports too.
Hey,
More
that's your
days
fault,
off.
Q. You brought him up.
I mean, damn. I was just trying to make a quick little in and out, but it's all good.
Pause.
yeah, no pause. Man. That is insane.
Hey, Rob, you got to put that in the notes like you always do.
Pause.
Yeah. Quote.
All those quotes, Rob's quotes.
What's going on tonight, Rob? What's good?
Oh, man, just another unnoteworthy Thursday night football game, man.
Yeah, man.
Like,
Nah, I'm gonna need Bezos to take this one back.
man. Why can't Elon Musk shut this down?
No, for real though.
Like, it was funny because Aaron Rodgers finally made an Aaron Rodgers-like play, and he dropped it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw that.
I did. I
watched
just
the
saw
game. Yeah. Because he rolled out right, he threw it across, hit the guy right in the hands, and yeah.
This is bad. And it's crazy watching Green Bay be this bad. But it's almost like it was predicted if you look at it. Once again, you traded away Devontae Adams was so much of that offense. And without him, Rob, this is what you get.
Yeah, there's a part of me that has a little conspiracy theory that Rodgers knew he was sort of done. But he's like, let me catch this last check from Green Bay. Devontae, you go with your guy, Derek Carr, and I'm just going to catch this check and ride out. And I'm done. Because he doesn't look remotely as engaged as he usually does outside of yelling at his coach.
I was gonna say that I agree with you, other than the fact that after every play you can see him cussing. After every play you can look at his face and see him saying these motherfuckers.
I guess.
Oh,
but you think if he wanted to go win another ring, if he was really for that, why wouldn't you take a little pay cut and keep Devontae around? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's just I don't know, man. It's not like like Nation said, man. It's not like cars over there lighting it up with Devontae Adams. That this may go down as one of the worst splits in history.
Well, both sides lost.
Yeah. Like I know Devontae's still gonna get his numbers, but
it's like they toxic and they need each other. It's like a Bobby and Whitney situation. Like I don't know.
Yeah. And their synergy was so tight. Like we talk about the Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill. I mean, you could tell that they had a good relationship, of course. But when you look at those two, they knew what each other was thinking at all times. I don't think he even really called plays. He just looked at him. And
it's a movement thing,
yeah.
Sheldon. Like you know better than I do because you play football, and it's like with the fact of a bigger wide receiver like a Devontae, it takes a certain kind of QB to, be special and make his numbers look a certain way. Because at the end of the day, wide receivers are beholden to, what the QB is capable of, right? Randy Moss, you can kind of put him in a lot of QB situations as long as they can fling it. He gonna get to it, right?
Yeah.
Tyreek is the
Calvin
same way,
Johnson.
right? Same type of. But when you got Devontae's, who are not necessarily the biggest leapers, they're not necessarily the quickest of guys, but they are so agile in and out of their breaks that it takes a precise QB or a guy who can put it on them, and not every QB can do that. So now you with Derek Carr, who is not that precise of a QB. Well, I think he's more precise than we give him credit for, but not to the level of Aaron Rodgers. And that's why Devontae's not shining right now.
Right.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's him. I haven't looked at his numbers. I thought his numbers look pretty solid. It's just the team's not shining.
Yeah,
they're not getting these wins, and it's interesting to see how it plays out. Apparently, Derek Carr is going to be the fall guy, but I don't know. That's a really. You think it would get as bad as John Gruden?
Man,
and now they're dealing with this.
Man,
the Raiders can't escape any BS, man.
Right.
Oh man, I thought it couldn't get worse after the Henry Ruggs situation.
Yeah,
that's true.
I was trying to see which franchise has the most disarray, and that's in football and basketball. Like which team has the most, and it's between the Raiders and the Commanders. Well, I can't really say them. Theirs is more front office stuff. So I don't know who else. Brooklyn and the Raiders are the two. So you just have to pick from there.
Yeah, ever since Al Davis passed away, the Raiders have not found they brought in Mark Davis with the goofy haircut, and they haven't been the same since.
That's true. That's 100% true.
Yeah.
That's 100% true.
Rob, let me ask you a question before we get you up out of here. But let me ask you one basketball, one NFL. Let me start with NFL first. Who's your MVP right now?
I hate to be the cliche. The cliche is Patrick Mahomes, but I want to push a little agenda for Justin Jefferson. Just a little agenda, because the Vikings are not remotely where they are without that guy. You take him off that team. Like, I think you could replace Kirk Cousins on that team. I think for this year, you could replace Dalvin Cook. You can't replace what Justin Jefferson's doing. Like, in that Bills game, he was disgusting. Like, so I think he deserves some MVP.
Was it a better catch than Odell?
Oh, easily.
I think so too.
Easily.
I think it's easily a better catch than Odell.
4th and 18.
Yeah.
Need to make the play. He pulled the ball away from a DB, a clear pick with one hand. Come on, man.
I thought so too. Nick didn't agree on Tuesday. Nick was saying that the Odell's was better. But...
Man, context. He climbed the ladder with one hand and brought it back. Like what? Like what you mean? Like
what makes Odell's better? Did he ever explain that?
I can't remember what he said about it, but that's
it was in the first quarter. It was in the first quarter.
Giants. That's all it was.
You're right.
That's what it was.
Bro, that was in the first quarter. Like that whole game, was decided by the fourth quarter, and then plus they also lost. Like Jefferson, the Vikings kind of needed that game. Like to prove like we can do this, and also in standings. But it's like, man, come on now. But so.
I'll tell you, my LVP is Jimmy Garoppolo, though, man. Jesus Christ. Any of you guys watch was it the Sunday night game or the Monday night game against the Chargers?
I think it was the
Sunday night.
Sunday night, yeah, because Monday was Shelton's boy. Yeah. Sunday, man, if you guys watch Jimmy Garoppolo, watch his feet when he's passing the ball. He looks scared every time he drops back to pass.
I mean, he been hurt before, man.
That it looks like on some of those passes he be closing his eyes.
Yeah, I think he must be. He sucks. I'm just gonna say.
And you really know how because they made the quarterback change at the time that they did. That kind of was an indication, because we think it was about what's his name? I can't even remember his name.
Trey Lance.
Trey Lance. We think it was about Trey Lance. That was more an indictment on Jimmy G than it was building up Trey Lance.
Because they know we are not winning another thing with Jimmy Garoppolo. Oh my.
Yeah, but you know what?
We say this now, and watch the 49ers
go-
going to be in the NFC Championship game.
I was about to say, don't be surprised.
And he'll throw 2 passes.
Oh, of course, because
Kyle
Shanahan will set up the nicest baby seat for him, and he gonna take this ride, and that's it. Pause. And that's it, man. Like
that's it. But that's really all.
That's
you
a weird
do.
pause.
That's all you got to do, man. Is
resume.
This game doesn't. Every team that for the Chiefs to win, Patrick Mahomes gonna have to throw for 300 plus yards.
Yeah.
For this 49ers team to win, you don't need but 180.
Eagle gotta have 60. McCaffrey gotta have 70. Like, you know what I mean?
Kittle.
Kittle gotta have like 45, 50, one big like 30-yard, for one that sets up a score. You know what I mean? Like Shanahan, his concepts are pretty, simple. Of like, we just need to make sure everybody gets a piece of this pie, and and make sure we limit Jimmy's exposure in the high leverage moments.
Right.
Is it? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, Rob.
No, I'm saying, is it simple now because I don't think it was this simple with Atlanta. I think it's only this simple because Jimmy G's terrible.
You mean simple like as in with Matt Ryan and Kyle Shanahan?
Yeah, when he was with Atlanta, because that was his offense too, right?
Yeah, I think Dan Quinn's defense also had something to say about that too. Not that they were historic. I don't remember that they were nowhere even near like amazing on D, but they were okay. I thought
they were,
but they also had Julio on that team, dude. Like that's a whole different animal. You know what I mean? So
I mean, you do have Debo, you do have Ayuk, you have George Kittle, you have if you put maybe a hot take, if you put Trevor Lawrence on this 49ers team, I think they would look a lot better.
Yeah, probably. Right, most likely. No, you can put a lot of you could put I'll tell you this: the Eagles back up. What's his name?
Gardner.
Yeah, I think you put Gardner Minshew on the fucking 49ers and they get you 9-10 games, dude. Like
I agree.
Real shit. You know what I mean?
I think I'd take Gardner Minshew over Jimmy Garoppolo. At least he has a nice mustache.
I feel that.
You just need a serviceable quarterback in that offense that can make a couple timely throws. And that's the thing about an NFL quarterback that needs to be known. Some quarterbacks, like I said, are in positions where you have to win these games. But Ryan Tannehill, we watched Ryan Tannehill tonight. He just has to make a few timely throws, get the ball to Derrick Henry. The defense controls the game, and you win. That's it. Now, if you're asking this man to come out here and throw for 400 yards, you might be in trouble. But
that might be. You will be.
You'll be in trouble, correct?
You are screwed.
But you need him to make a couple timely throws, get the ball where it needs to be. Don't take sacks. Don't commit turnovers. That's the biggest thing. Don't turn the ball over. And you gotta
don't be stupid.
Yeah. And plays like the one that just happened. You know what? That's 45 yards. Derrick Henry on a screen pass. There you go. That's and you got the first place Tennessee Titans. There you go. So it's not always rocket science at the quarterback position. It's just good play calling, timely play calling, great execution by the people around you, and that's it. That's what the Eagles do. The Eagles do the same thing. They have great play calling.
Possession. Yeah,
great play calling. They possess the ball and keep you. They don't turn it over.
But I thought they had the lead quarterback.
Huh?
I thought they had the lead quarterback.
Hey,
he's like,
no, I never. See, that's the thing, man.
What's
Rob,
the thing?
let me. Well, I got you on the line. I've never called that man elite. I never have. He's my favorite.
You said he was top 5.
He is top 5.
I beg your pardon.
He is top 5.
Is that not elite?
I beg your pardon.
Hey, look, that's a fluid list, bro.
How are you top 5 and not elite?
Because that's a fluid list. Two is in the top 5 to me right now.
So the top 5 women, the top 5 prettiest girls ain't the most elite girl. Like what? What you mean?
He's got Betty White in his top 5 attractive women.
No.
Hey, that list could change.
Nas in my top 5. He not elite though.
Nah,
he's okay.
That list could change. Now, like I said, we just talking year to date. So nah,
I beg your pardon.
You got to give me more than that to be elite.
That's good.
The way it looks right now to me, the only elite quarterbacks in the league right now is Patrick Mahomes and
Josh
maybe
Allen.
You know what, Sheldon?
Josh Allen
I do agree with that, and we've come a long way on this show when we talk about stuff like that. The terms like superstar and elite, we give it out way too often. Give it out for too many people who are just great at what they do.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a difference between being great at what you do and just being everything at what you do, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like Patrick Mahomes, he's everything for that team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Derrick Henry, he's everything. He's a superstar for that team. Like he's a superstar. Like
he's
you know
elite.
what I mean? Exactly. You know, that's where it comes in at. So we try to give guys like Matthew Stafford, he's elite. I'm like, well, come on now. Like we don't have to do that. Like it doesn't make sense to do that. We don't have to. Not too much now. You know what I mean? Not too much. That's just where we have to be.
I'll give you a good example of that too. We talk about Joe Burrow a lot. Now, Joe Burrow is a great quarterback. He's really good at what he does, but he's not elite yet. He has to do it consistently. It ain't about whether we think you got the talent to do it. We think you got Justin Herbert. We think Justin Herbert should be elite. He has the tools to be an elite quarterback.
He should be. I never thought that. I never thought he was going to be elite.
You didn't think he would?
I think I'm trying to think of.
He's Jay Cutler with better PR.
He's Jay Cutler with Jalen Hurts' legs. Like he'll put up pretty stats, but at the end of the day, it doesn't mean anything because he doesn't execute when he needs to. But they never
unpause this, Rob, but no one has Jalen Hurts' legs. Like, let's just be real. Like,
no,
that man to be squat, bro.
That man squat like. Yeah,
Jalen Hurts' running ability.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll leave it at that. But
he's mobile.
Yeah, he puts up all the pretty stats, but then it's like, why do you only have 13 points?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how does that happen? I don't think he has it.
His coach is really a nut, though. He's a whole weirdo. Like, he goes for it way too often.
Well, because he thinks he has an elite quarterback. I'll tell you,
what came first, the chicken or the egg, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what, though. Sheldon, your take of him being better than Burrow is definitely looking on the downside.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I admitted that part. Last year.
Since when do you admit you're wrong?
Oh, I do always, Rob. I'll tell you.
Q's don't ever admit when. Q's don't admit.
I've been wrong a few times now. I'm right a lot though. Hey, Rob, I'm still right a lot though.
When?
Rob, come on, man. But that one didn't age well because Burrow has made the Super Bowl, so you really can't say much about him after that.
Mm-hmm. No, he's good for the rest of his life. He's like it's kind of like he can be Kyrie now for the rest of his life.
Right.
He can just be weird. Everybody, well, he did get to the Super Bowl. It's like
right.
He can get away with it.
That's actually pretty appropriate.
I was gonna say, what's funny is that may be the comment. At some point, we may look back and be like, "Yeah, that Kyrie."
Man, Dan Marino rode that Super Bowl for the rest of his career, bro.
He sure did.
Speaking of Joe Burrow, did you guys ever see that picture floating around with him with the grill? Like the diamond grill?
No, I didn't see that.
I saw it somewhere. I didn't know if it was fake or not. I was curious if you guys had seen it too, but I was like, damn, that's Nick's guy.
It's probably real.
Damn, man. So he was Kirk Cousins before Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That LSU, man, he was around all them black people there.
I was going to say his is more authentic than Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is new to the party. I think Joe Burrow, that's just who he is.
Joe Burrow looks like has the faith of a fourth grader. He does not look good right in grill.
Damn. Yeah, no, but the other thing is they do need to stop putting all them grills and shit on white QBs. Like y'all guys stop doing that. Like it's just
as a white guy, I agree.
Like it's just not all the like. Come on, bro. Like come on.
Like, you look like a dad trying to be cool in front of his kids.
Exactly.
No.
Rob, I didn't know you was white, man.
I've said it like 5 times.
Rob has stated his European ancestry
Numerous
multiple times.
Bro, Shelton, I am toilet paper white.
He has said it on some 23andMe shit multiple times.
I am whiter than your shirt, Shelton.
Oh my God.
Whiter than your beard.
You know what, Rob? I thought I saw your profile on Farmers Only. So now I know that is you. Okay.
On what?
FarmersOnly.com.
What the hell is that?
Good Lord.
You say I'm on OnlyFans. You on you know exactly what FarmersOnly.com is.
Is that one of your dirty porn sites, Shelton?
No,
Oh God, you dirty.
That's one of yours.
He's got a side laptop watching porn.
Rob done turned his whole thing out. Rob done turned his whole thing out.
Pause.
Good Lord. Anyway, you know what? Let's segue into this next topic. And before we get you all, Rob, did you see Kevin Durant's, or did you hear about his awkward interview where he threw his team under the bus?
That was crazy.
I heard about it. I saw one specific, but I forget what the specific was.
So he basically just said, well, you look at who's out on the court, it's me. And he listed all of the guys. And he listed everyone's name. He said it's me, blah blah blah, Joe Harris, and y'all think we supposed to win because I'm out there. That's what he said.
Yeah.
So now people are like, okay, and I think this is just him trying to get traded. So is he justified in saying that, like in the media when they didn't trade him, or is it like you all are making me do this now because I told y'all this shit was trash? But you know, if you're on the inside of it as a teammate, do you feel weird about that? Obviously,
I mean, from KD's perspective, if you don't want to be there anymore and you don't care what the media thinks about you, why wouldn't you do that?
Right.
That's the only thing I'm thinking is like, I don't care about these guys. I'm just here to play. I'm just here so I don't get fined. Right. Shout out Marshawn Lynch. Yeah, so I don't know. It definitely looks bad, but from KD's perspective, who cares? I don't want to be here.
I can respect that.
That's the only thing I'm thinking. And then the only reason I'm still here, the guy's not even on the court. So, Kyrie.
Yeah, we don't know. Kyrie's lost somewhere in a YouTube rabbit hole right now. So we're going to pray for the brother.
Yeah, they say he's supposed to be coming back next week, I think.
Yeah, Sunday, I think.
He's going to come back in the yarmulke. He's going to piss everybody off.
Oh yeah, but like, did y'all see? First of all, just completely random. Did y'all see what in the world Mitch Richmond said?
Oh wow!
On the Warriors broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, Sheldon, what was that?
Mitch just be talking before he think. He got to realize he on TV, and
what
that's not the analogy.
I don't even want to say it. I don't even want to blow up his spot.
Yeah, just go back and look it up.
Type in Google Mitch Richmond. Google Mitch Richmond. Golden State commentary.
I thought that was Tim Hardaway.
That's it. Tim Hardaway. Sorry. Tim Hardaway.
Tim Hardaway.
Yes. That was, bro.
100%.
Insane.
Sorry, Mitch.
Excuse me, Mitch. Mitch, we love you. No, Tim, you wildin' though. Tim, come on, bro. Tim Hardaway, Golden State Warrior commentary.
Oh,
and let me know in the chat. Like, yeah.
I'm scared to look at it now.
Like, come on, yo. But all right, Rob, any last like takes or anything else you want to get off about NFL or NBA or what, anything?
No, I think I've said plenty. I think I've definitely said plenty. I'm just gonna say, Ken, I'm looking forward to hearing your verse on the Dead End Hip Hop Posse cut. And Rod's verse is gonna be whack.
Hey, we getting the album coming out called Straight Out of Content. And,
Straight Out of Christ.
Yeah, for real though. Oh, good luck. More shots and models. You know, Rob, we getting you up out of here. All right, man.
Christmatic.
Good Lord.
All right, I'm gonna bring King Cam on to this on right now.
All right,
Next
peace,
call.
y'all.
Peace.
Yo, what's up, y'all?
What up, bro?
What up, bro?
Man, I just gotta come on here and talk about like the agenda against Trevor Lawrence the last couple of weeks by Nick, man. Even over here saying Trevor Lawrence, he's a bust, but praising Justin Fields for throwing 150 yards.
Talk about it.
I
Wow.
don't get it, man. I don't get it. I just want to know, like, somebody got to start addressing that, man. Like, I know Justin Fields been doing his thing, running the ball, but he ain't been doing the thing in the passing game. So people hated on Lamar his rookie year when he was doing that, but at least Lamar and Justin Hurts when they ran the ball like that, they took their team to the playoffs. Justin Fields going 3-7.
Yeah.
Right.
So I just had to
Right.
come address that, man.
No, you're right. You a Jacksonville fan though, right?
Oh, I just support all Carolina sports. I'm from South Carolina, so support
Uh-oh.
Clemson,
Where you
Charlotte.
from, Cam?
I'm from Greenwood.
Greenwood.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And I went to Claflin too, man. Happy Founders Day, man. Yeah.
Oh, appreciate it. Oh yeah, you went to Claflin. That's crazy.
We linking up. Everybody linking up. Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah. So
I
I
love
support every
Claflin.
Carolina sports. Yeah.
that.
So any guy who come from Clemson, I gotta go support him in the league. I'm waiting for Deshaun to come back, even though he messed up his name. I hope he can kind of put all that beside him and go
He
just ball
gonna
out on the
ball
field.
when he come back. I mean, it's gonna take him a second to really get acclimated, but he gonna ball when he come back. He was already, I've been saying, top 3 talent wise as QB in the league when he was playing.
Yeah, he just got knocked that rust off, but the media gonna be on his head as soon as he come back if he have a bad game. So I just
They
hope
are.
he knock all that rust off and just put it on the field.
So,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on Trevor Lawrence?
I think he has improved since his rookie year because the rookie year was terrible, one of the worst QBs in the league. I can admit that. But like the improvement to his second year, I can see things going to his third year is gonna be like, is he really that guy who gonna take Jacksonville to that next level? That's what I'm saying. The improvement from first year to second year is good. He top 10 in the league in passing. He need a number one receiver, so hopefully they can address that in the offseason because Christian Kirk, he was a Arizona third receiver last year. And I think they brought in Evan Ingram too. Like Evan Ingram, like I know he was just known for dropping balls in New York. So they actually give him a number one type of receiver. And if he get that number one receiver, Travis Etienne, he doing his thing. I think he gonna break out next year too. Like Travis Etienne, he breaking out now, but next year I feel he become like a top 5 back in the league.
Wow.
But
Top 5, huh?
That's pretty
yeah,
high.
he can catch the ball, he can run the ball. It just helped with him. Like he did it. Like I seen Nick Clemson, like Travis Etienne, like his like next gear speed. He getting that open field. He gonna be dangerous. But Jacksonville got a lot of things to address. But next year is I think y'all need to put Trevor Lawrence on the clock. But this year I think calling him a bust too premature.
I feel you on that. I hope the same thing for Travis Etienne because I saw what you saw. I don't, and I think they will draft with their first pick this year. I think they're gonna draft a wide receiver because you're right. They got to get that man some help. To be relying on Christian Kirk is just ridiculous, and it's not fair. It's not fair. But at the same time, Travis Etienne staying healthy is gonna be the question for me. I just don't think he's durable enough to be an every down back like that and stay healthy. But you're right. You're right. But don't be surprised they're gonna draft the first round draft pick.
Yeah, but today NFL, like who really is an air down back? Like it's really like a lot of teams going to running back by committee, and the main running back they trying to get him less than 300 touches just to keep him healthy for go to the playoffs. I think that's what the 49ers doing. Like CMC ever since he left the Panthers, like the way they using him, but they also got the other running backs and Debo and them guys just spread the ball around and keep guys healthy for the playoffs and don't let Jimmy G get too much. I think more teams need to go to the type of direction, especially with the elite quarterback. Imagine when like put an elite quarterback with the 49ers with that amount of weapons and the things they could do with it.
Yeah, that'd be sick. That would be sick.
I mean, what's going on with Carolina though, man? Like, I mean, what's like?
Man, we got rid of Matt Rule, so that's the best thing that happened this season. I thought he should have been fired last season. Like he never had it.
Who y'all gonna bring in? Who's?
I like Steve Wilkes right now. Them guys seem like ever since he came in coaching, like being a head coach, he a black head coach. Them guys got a different type of energy. And I hear like a lot of guys in the locker room like Steve Wilkes right now. We win again with PJ Walker. Like PJ Walker, third string quarterback out there winning games.
They do, but I just don't think that they're gonna give Wilkes the opportunity. And that's I get it, but I don't get that at the same time. I don't think they're gonna give him the opportunity. They're gonna try to make a splash on that coaching hire again. That's what Tepper is known to do. I do think they're gonna draft CJ Stroud to come in and be the quarterback.
I like Young over CJ Stroud though. Like I don't know, I just don't trust Ohio State quarterbacks. I feel like in that system in Ohio State, like the last recent guy Haskins, Fields, and stuff like that. I don't know them kind of guys come in ready, but I have seen Alabama put Tua, Jalen Hurts, Bryce Young gonna be the next guy.
Young gonna be gone by the time Carolina picks, though. I think Bryce Young will be a Houston Texan. I think Houston will
Yeah.
pick before. That's why I didn't put him there. So Bryce Young will be the first quarterback out the board.
Maybe we can move some pieces to get up, but I'll take Stroud. But if we don't have a right coaching staff, like, and we just doing anything, just try to make splash hires and splash signings and doing things like that, we're not gonna go anywhere as a franchise anyway. So I hope
Right.
Carolina get it straight, but
Yeah.
keep Wilkes.
And that'd be awesome for them. They got the you got your tackle in place for forever. So
Oh
you
yeah,
got
that left tackle we drafted.
yeah.
Yeah,
Him
you
on
one of the best in the league already.
yes. And so all you need is a good quarterback at this point. You're gonna need a running back eventually, but of course you're not gonna draft that high, and you can get that off the free agent market. But
Man,
you got pieces in place. DJ is a good receiver. Them cornerbacks is tough. You're gonna need another corner because Jackson
I,
got hurt again, but
I like Horn though. I think Horn like one of the most slept on corners in the league just because he played for Carolina. But
he is.
Horn,
He's definitely a number one. He definitely a number one, and he
I
coming
like
out.
I like our pass rush too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I think Carolina got some pieces, but it got to come down to getting the right coach in there and actually not moving too fast as a franchise. Just trying to trade for a quarterback. Think we in win now mode. We ain't been in win now mode ever since Cam left. So I don't know why we got Sam Darnold. Then gonna bring in Baker the next year. Baker one of the most terrible quarterbacks I ever seen in my life, and they try to make us believe that he was gonna come to Carolina and do something
You
with the
heard
worst
me
team that he had in Cleveland.
You heard me say it. You heard me say it multiple times. Same thing with Sam Darnold. I don't know why they thought they could, make him better than what the Jets was doing with him. I didn't understand either one of those moves at all. That was desperation.
Bit rushing the process, like not doing the right move, just trying to rush to get to a playoff spot that we never was gonna be in contention for in the first place when Brady came to the division and Drew Brees and stuff was still there.
Yeah.
So I just hope Carolina get it right, man. I really want to start back watching the games. I still be watching here and there, but man, when Baker was there, I couldn't do it. I didn't watch the first half of the season.
Yep.
You probably just need new ownership, honestly, man.
That's really what I hope.
Yeah,
Then Temple did that thing in Rock Hill, like that was weird.
Somebody called Diddy and Steph Curry, man.
Yeah. So Cam, I don't know if you saw my 365 on that, but that was what did it. Like I said, that's my hometown. You took advantage of my people. That's why people, I was tripping with me and Nick was arguing about that the other day, and I was like, man, listen, my displeasure for Carolina has more to do off the field than on the field.
Yeah.
And that Rock Hill thing was awful to me. Like that was disrespectful.
The gentrification.
And he left them like most of the bill, right? He was not even gonna help him pay the bill for like the stuff that that was messed up. Like you put the city behind doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like and then he filed bankruptcy with his company. He's a billionaire and filed bankruptcy. So my mom and my family got to figure out how to pay this bill, and we got all this undeveloped land that we done, set aside for you. We got to figure out what to do with this place now. So that was personal to me, and that hurt my heart because I love him.
Yeah, Temple a terrible owner, but I doubt he gonna like get rid of Power. Like he one of the richest owners in the league, so
yes, he is.
So
he's near the top as far as his money. So yeah, if he gave it up, I'll be completely happy. But like him there, I can't rock with that dude.
Yeah, but all Carolina franchise see like that horrible, like the Charlotte Hornets, like what Jordan doing, like he fired Steve Clifford, hired Borrego, then hired back Steve Clifford.
I don't, to be honest with you, Cam, I don't know what Jordan doing. I really like going into this year looking at the roster in place. I'm like, man, these dudes are all like cast offs in G League. We got a G League roster, to be honest. It's just
I really think the Miles Bridges thing put a big like wrench in a lot of Charlotte plans too. Because when he did what he did, we were supposed to re-sign him and continue connection with him and LaMelo, but he probably never gonna play in the league again. And we just got LaMelo, but I think they should sit LaMelo again because he hurt his ankle last night. And we just tank and pray for Victor. Because I think if Victor comes to Charlotte with him and LaMelo, we might can do something for a couple years. But after that, I don't know, man.
Mm-hmm. That's true, 100%. That's Victor landing in Charlotte would be the best bet for everybody involved. Because I look at, and I say that not just because I'm a fan, but when you look at some of these other teams, I wouldn't want to put him like with the Detroit team. They got too many guys that want to be the guy. You know, you put him with a Houston team, same situation. You know, he don't need a bunch of young people trying to run things. In Charlotte, there's clear cut path. You
He
got
gonna be the number
LaMelo.
one big. Yeah, we ain't had a big in a long time. Probably saying Al Jefferson. So
Yes.
we get him in there with LaMelo. Maybe LaMelo convinced to stay because we probably might have to end up trading LaMelo because I doubt LaMelo gonna want to stay in Charlotte. We keep losing.
Right. 100%. His dad gonna want him out of there.
Shit, LaMelo not gonna have much of a choice the way he keep playing the way he playing.
That's
Like,
true.
oh, who you trying to go to? Like, you know what I mean? Like what? You see how much defense you don't play?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro.
I think LaMelo just don't care because he probably see his teammates around him and say, "Man, I'm just gonna go out here and have fun, do
it's
my
really
little
high
silly
school right
passes." Yeah. Like Charlotte not a serious franchise. I doubt the players take it serious. Like you see how many arrests we had in all season. Like guys don't care about like
Trez had the dope going across the line.
yeah, Trey trying to be the plug. He ain't trying to play basketball. Miles Bridges before he hit his girl, he was trying to be a rapper.
Real shit.
Crazy.
Mac 11Ks, nigga. What the fuck was
Yeah,
that?
then he got in trouble gonna lead out here YouTube videos and try to play that good image to the judge. Nah, bro, that stuff out there forever.
Right. You can't get rid of it.
He talking about he got Mac 11s. Like, come on, bro. him and all these dudes trying to be op rappers and shit. Stop, dude. Stop. Like, it's not cool, man. You got millions of dollars. Take care of your family, man. Just like,
But like I was saying earlier, a lot of you guys don't care about playing basketball like no more. Like it's other
for
avenues. Like basketball can get me where I want to be, but I can start doing other things outside of basketball and put on that type of image. And basketball would be like the last word because I'm not gonna lose my skill. I'm probably not gonna get better either. But if I can just maintain the skill I got now, I can stay in the league a couple years, make a couple $1 million, and play the gangster image at the same time.
If you in the gym 4 or 5 times a week, just casually putting up like 100, 200, 300 shots. If you are already just naturally gifted, that's gonna maintain most of what you do. If you lift just a little bit of weights, it's gonna maintain. But like the dudes who like are OD about their diet, OD about alcohol, like they don't do no type of smoking and and if they do, it's like, it's a medicinal thing or whatever, right? But guys don't know, man, like what the best of the best of the best do. Sometimes, you do have the outliers like Jordan who can smoke and drink and do what they want. But, the best of the best athletes, they deny themselves all the pleasures of life to really get in shape and stay in shape for the season and, be able to perform, yo. And that's just a certain level that guys, I don't think in today's age really give a fuck about because like you're saying, I can go get a independent deal with Twitch outside the NBA for like, 12, $14 million. That's like, a Scrubs 1 year deal or a really nice, 2-year deal for, a bad player in the NBA or something, right? Guys can go get that, brand deals with, name any fashion brand, end up walking on runway and get, millions of dollars to do that and become a model like fucking Kuzma and shit. Shit is wild, bro. It's like there's too many opportunities out here for, I think, guys to really just be, man, I really want to be up there with Kobe and Mike. That shit don't matter, bro. It's like no one cares about that because you know why? The girls, they talk to you the same way as they gonna talk to Mike and Kobe back in the day because you got the bag now.
Yeah, and a lot of you guys get that bag, especially with NBA now. Like they got bench players making $18 million, not even getting in the game. Like Duncan Robinson, not even a good player. Like they paying that type of money to that type of guy. So it's a different league nowadays. You can make
Cody Martin. Cody Martin got.
I was thinking about Cody. He did.
He got paid.
He did.
And like he's a good player. Don't get me wrong, but by like standards of like come on now, like
that's exactly who I was thinking about.
Yeah. For real.
Yeah. So out of all the new guys in the league, who you think guys gonna take the league over? Like Luka, I got Luka at the job. Like I feel like those are gonna be the two the next couple of years. They're gonna go like head to head in the West and say who league is gonna be.
I think the NBA is going for like the NBA. I think the NBA. This is about to sound so weird for people. The NBA is trying to be like Marvel. Real shit. Because if you look at the relationship between Marvel and the NBA, it's all Disney, by the way. Just understand that. and the branding is very similar. They're trying to make it a universe now. The same way in which the cinematic universe is Black Panther, it's Ant-Man, it's all of them niggas. It's not gonna be one singular LeBron story anymore. Like it's not gonna be one singular Kobe and everyone revolves around Kobe. It's like no, it's gonna be like damn near like the arcs of what's Luka and what's Tatum and Brown, they're young, and Ja and the Grizzlies down here, and Devin Booker over here. It's about the ensemble cast now, and they literally have a podcast on Spotify about like the NBA players helping out the Avengers. So I'm not lying when I say this shit. So
yeah,
but I can see that the NBA, like they said, they started trying to add new teams. I heard they're trying to add a team in Mexico City. I heard like that's a big chance they can add a team
Vegas,
down there in
Seattle.
yeah.
Yeah.
I heard Mexico City is almost a done deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's lit down there.
Expanding the international footprint. But y'all think NBA team can work in Mexico City? Because I'm thinking like
Hell
one
yeah.
of the players go down there, get messed with the cartel, the whole team get kidnapped.
Damn.
And nothing the NBA can do about it.
Damn. Nah,
Like
see, the cartel just gonna had a team under extortion. That's all it is. They ain't gonna kill them. They gonna be like, y'all gonna lose this game.
Oh yeah. Hey.
It's a game 7 here in the Mexico City Thunder or so and so here playing against the Chicago Bulls. No one expects the Chicago Bulls to win this game. They're down by 3. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, who would have thought?
Oh,
Somebody
man.
made millions in Vegas.
Yeah, man. But that's all I really got to say tonight, y'all. I just appreciate y'all having me on. I appreciate everything y'all doing, keeping the culture going, being the top black sports show on YouTube, man.
Hey, appreciate you, man.
Bro. Shout out
Hey,
South Carolina.
Campbell, you still in Greenville? I mean Greenwood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
South Carolina's definitely in the building. We appreciate it.
And keep putting on for the Carolina shelter, man. Y'all have a great night.
For sure, man.
All right, you too, Cam. Appreciate you, bro.
Stay blessed, bro.
All right, super chat. Josh Rose, y'all need to let me call in so I can defend my guy.
Josh,
Zach
call in.
Wilson. He here, y'all.
Josh Rose.
Yo.
Zach.
What's happening?
What's
up,
happening, man?
Sorry if the accent's a little funny. Yeah, I'm Australian.
Oh, your volume's a little low.
Oh, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
It's kind of low.
Try and turn the mic up there. Sorry if the accent's a little off-putting.
There we go.
There it is.
Yeah. How we going?
It's all good, man. Now accents,
Hello?
we do. Yeah, accents are good, man. We just had an accent on the last call. It's all good.
Yeah.
Shout out, Cam.
It's all good. All right. I just want to start with saying it's not looking good. It's not looking good with Zach right now. It's not looking good.
Talk to us, man.
Man.
I see the talent though. Like, do you guys see the talent? Or you don't see it.
I see the throws. I see the precision. I see a nice quick release. I just don't know if he has the. I don't know if he has the fortitude to really stick in the pocket, man.
I was gonna say because like, this dude like, I wasn't real high on him to start, and then this is gonna sound really stupid, but he's literally born same day, same year, everything is me. Like we're literally the exact same age, and I was like, all right, I'm on this dude just for that, just for that. And I ride with my Jets. I always ride with my Jets.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Yeah. I think he's talented. I think he can make the throws, but just watching him in press conferences, I don't know if he's got it up there. Like he gets very defensive, and like after that Patriots game, he just like cut reporters off saying like, "Oh, I don't care about stats." It's like, dude, I don't know if that's the right approach. So I'm not liking that. But I feel like he's got talent, so I feel like we got to ride with him for at least another year or two.
Josh, you ever been to New York?
No, but I'm literally flying from Sydney to Chicago in 6 months to do a road trip.
Oh wow!
That's what's.
Hey, what's the weather like where you are, Josh?
I'm like 3 hours from Sydney, so usually it's pretty cold, but it's actually pretty hot right now.
Wow,
it's pretty hot.
Oh, okay.
It's like 20 odd degrees right now.
The reason why I ask, and that's crazy that it's cold, like, but no, it's warm now. But the reason why I asked about New York is, Josh, you got to understand, New York media is insane. The Jets, those reporters, they are insane. Like the Knicks reporters is different. You see how they treat just the Nets, and they're not even like the Knicks. The Knicks, if they were actually good, imagine if the Knicks had real expectations. It's the same type of phenomenon.
Oh yeah, it'd be crazy.
Exactly. The same phenomenon happening with Zach, and I feel like maybe he just got to get a little bit acclimated to just kind of brushing that type of stuff off, because those guys will badger you, you know?
Yeah, right. I feel like that was the thing wrong with Sanchez. I don't think he couldn't handle that.
Yeah.
He wasn't.
Not a lot of guys
either,
can, man. Not a lot of guys can handle that New York pressure, man. Guys constantly you can't go get a bagel in the morning. You can't go to the gym without, because New Yorkers will talk to you. Like it's not just about like, you know, the reporters. It's imagine Josh, you doing your job, right? Imagine you go to, you know, whatever local coffee shop you in, and somebody's like, you know, you missed that, you know, shot, right? Like, what the fuck are you doing, man? And he's like, I'm just getting my coffee, yo. You know what I mean? And then imagine, and then get on the subway, right? Or you getting imagine you getting in your private car or whatever, right? And people pull up beside you, KD, hey Zach, stop throwing that bullshit picks, and like, you know what I mean, riding past you
man,
every day, man.
It'd be tough. That would be real tough.
My thing too.
Sorry, Shelton, you go.
No, I was just gonna tell you to answer your question, Josh. I don't think so. I never saw it in Zach. I watched Zach I watched him at BYU, and when they started hyping him up, I was looking at these games. I'm like, did y'all not watch this guy? I watched this guy play Utah, and he looked like a scared little chicken out there. I was like, he's not ready for Utah. How's he gonna get ready?
That's the thing, because like down here, I couldn't see any of his college games. Like BYU's not being shown on TV down here. They're only showing like Michigan, Ohio State, you know, those sort of games. So I was just going off his pro day and the preseason, and I was like, this dude can throw it. Like, he can play. It just hasn't translated right now.
Yeah, he could throw. He could throw it. He just wasn't good. Like I said, you put a little pressure on him, and pressure bust pipes. It just was not suitable for what he was trying to get done. I watched this guy. Like I said, I watched him in college in actual games, and I was never impressed. And Utah came on. You know, they would come on about 11 o'clock here at night. Yeah, and you see him. I watched him play. Like I said, I watched him play Utah, BYU against Utah. I think I saw him play at Colorado State as senior, somebody like that. I saw him a few different times his senior year, and neither time was I ever impressed enough to say this is the number one QB. I don't see it being him. I just don't see him doing it. So I think that your quarterback of the future is coming up in a couple drafts.
Well, I hope you're wrong, but the signs they're not great right now. What about you, Ken? Do you see it or you don't see it?
I think the arm is crazy. You know, I think he's been hurt, so he's changed coaches. I think, and you know, I want to wait a little bit. I know they babysitted him a little bit this year. You know, coming off their injury before they kind of really tossed him out there. You know, maybe he's not learning the offense or whatnot. I'm not exactly sure, but he definitely has the arm talent. You know, if he can put it all together and get past, I think one of the criticisms I saw was he only has that one read. So if that's true, he can go through his progressions. Then, you know, I think he can definitely be serviceable. You know, for at least the length of the you know, his rookie deal, for you guys to make a good assessment, because you got the talent around now. Now it's up to whether or not he can be developed. And that's what I would like to see. But I got a question for you, though. How did you become a Jets fan?
Well, so I root because when I started watching NFL in the 2011s, the year the Giants beat the Patriots the second time.
Great
year. That was the first season. I'm with you, Ken, by the way. Brady, just get him out of here. Get him away. I'm sick of him. But anyway. The first game I literally ever sat down and watched was the Jets and the Bears. And I just chose the Jets. And then I sort of liked the Bears a little bit in the NFC. But yeah, that was literally the first game I ever watched. And I just decided to be a Jets fan. And
oh, wow.
Can say that I highly regret it. But it's looking all right this year. It's looking all right this year. We're not doing too bad.
Nah, you're not. You
Just
and
as a-
Manny.
As a Jets fan, you got to temper the expectations because you know it can crash pretty hard.
Right.
I got to get you and Manny on here at the same time to hear y'all talk about the Jet. That would be crazy.
What's he? Is he big on us or is he a bit
Yeah, he's
like
a Jets
me?
fan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's Jets.
Is he like high on the team or is he a bit tempering the expectations too a little bit?
He
You know
hasn't
what? I'm
really
not sure. I think
hasn't said much.
you know what? Yep, he hasn't, and I think I think that's on purpose.
Yes.
Cautious.
You
He's
know,
cautious.
so,
Yeah. It's
yep,
smart
he's
to be
trying to
cautious
keep it
about
quiet and enjoy the success
Yeah.
without jinxing it.
He hasn't said hardly one word. When you say something to him about it, he won't respond about it. He'll talk about the Lakers.
Yep.
He'll talk about the Mets, but he won't talk about the Jets.
Is he a Lakers fan? Nah.
Yes, he's a Lakers fan.
Yeah, no good. No good. You don't root for any team, Ken, right?
No, not anymore.
Okay. Fair
Yeah,
enough.
Yeah,
yeah. I
Sheldon's
just
an
like
Eagles fan
players, and
now,
even
so-
now, I'm at the point where I don't have players like I'm a diehard fan. Like Dwayne Wade was the last one where, you know,
God,
yeah,
he was
watching him play, like if he lost or got put out the playoffs, you know, or hurt. But now it's just like nothing. It don't really bother me anymore.
Oh man, Wade was incredible, and like LeBron obviously helped his career, but I feel like it took the shine away a little bit. It made people forget how great he was.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. Yeah, I would ask some NBA questions, but I'm a Spurs fan, so we haven't really got much going at the moment.
Oh no,
we've
man.
Had a decent start, but I don't want us to win games. Like we got to lose. We got to get Vic.
Keldon Johnson's really good. I like.
He looks good. Looks like he can be. He looks like he can be a genuine like second star on a team. I think.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
he looks
and
good.
they're in some games that I'm thinking they're winning some of these games.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, how this team winning?
I feel like that's the Pop effect, though. Pop, if you're coached by Pop, you're never going to be in the lottery. I don't think.
That's true.
They might be still in the lottery, but like I said,
I would hope.
FIFA disagree with me, but I think that there's some type of agreement in place that they want the teams to try to actually give a fuck about the season, and then whatever happens. And I think that there's some type of whatever silver saying like you can trade your guys at the deadline, but like until then, don't come into the season tanking because this is going to ruin the entire product. You know.
Yep. Bottom line at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I don't think I had anything else. Just had to get my record there for Zach. I'm not as boisterous as I was before because I'm starting to see the signs, but I'm riding with him for now.
Hey, what time is it where you are, Josh?
2:45 in the afternoon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's took me a while to get used to the American time zones and like when I had to wake up for games and stuff, but I'm all about it now. Monday is religion. That is football day for me.
Oh, okay.
Got to get up it starts the start of the season. I have to get up at 3 a.m. for the games, and then your time zones must change. Just like the daylight. Do you do daylight savings or something like that?
Yeah, we do daylight savings still.
Yeah, because then it changes
a couple weeks ago.
Now the games start at 5 a.m. over here.
Oh wow,
it's been a little different.
So
I'm up for that.
You said you watch the games live, or do you like record them and come?
I pay for the game pass, which is that is so expensive. Jesus, I could not believe that. Like that was crazy. But yeah, I've woken up at 3 to 5 a.m. every morning for 10 years to watch the Jets. So you can't say.
Oh wow. Hey, that's to wake up at 3 to 5 a.m. to watch the Jets. You are the most committed on this planet.
Man, it's been tough. It's been tough.
Oh man.
Yeah. That's why I hope this year we can just at least make the playoffs. I've never seen us make the playoffs. So,
I struggle with these 9:30 kickoffs when they go like to London and stuff like that. Those I miss those games. So more power to you for doing that, bro. Because I miss that. I can't get up. Like even LA time zones throw me off. So to be up, at what is it, 10 a.m. for kickoff in LA, that's crazy.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah, it takes a commitment, but I love it. It's great. It beats all the Australian sports. So.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Bet.
All right, guys. It was great talking to you.
Man. It was good to finally get you on, man.
Yeah, it was awesome to hear your voice, man.
Yeah.
Also, Ken, you are tripping on the Drake and 21 album. Just putting
It's
that out
fire,
there.
right, Josh? Like, let him
It is
know.
so good.
It is
But I'm
it's the third best Drake album. I don't care what no one says, but it's fun.
I'm a Drake stan, and like I try to defend his last couple albums, but they weren't that great. This one is.
This is the one, Josh. Like I'm telling, let these look, bro. We up and we living like that. What? What? Middle of the ocean with 100. What?
I still ain't finished that album. I'm so heavy into Infinity Link, I can't get past it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, I can't get past Infinity Link to give a good listen like I want to. So I'm gonna do it tonight.
I feel that way. If you got an album on you, like if you're really feeling an album, it's hard to like switch into something else.
Yeah. And of course, these circumstances have got me locked in even more. So, you know, yeah. Then I'm going back listening to Culture 3 and other stuff like that too. I can't get past Migos.
Yeah, man. Rest in peace, Takeoff. What a
man.
legend.
Yeah, R.I.P. Takeoff.
What a legend, bro.
But yeah, I'm gonna listen to it tonight.
All right, you'll love it, Sheldon. You'll love it. Ken, you'll come around, I reckon.
No, he will.
In a few months, he'll be like, I was tripping on this.
I'm gonna play that shit for him. That's all good.
All right, guys, take care.
All right, peace.
See you guys.
See, I got to pull it up now. I didn't even realize it was. It's always
on. Big way.
Yo.
Igwe.
Oh, man.
All right. Well, while you doing that, I'm gonna read off some of these super chats. Igwe will be maybe our last call for the night. Tracy G said, question. Listening to Steven Jackson and KG and Pierce, they said these rookies should be in G League every summer for at least 3 years.
I can't. Well, I ain't gonna say all of them, but some of them they need it.
Some of them do
more basketball than others. And
3 years is a long time.
Yeah, 3 years is a long time, but they do need to. They all need to do summer league, and they all need to play competitive basketball outside of just coming into these games.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it does them a disservice when they're skipping summer league like that. Ain't too many of them NBA ready to get out there in that court and just do that, like night in and night out.
Yeah. Next one. Are Tatum and Brown the clear best duo in the league?
As of now, you got to say yes.
Igwe.
Can y'all hear me?
We can hear you.
Yo.
Oh, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing, y'all?
What up?
Chilling, bro.
What's happening?
Yeah, it's been a minute since I was on these live calls and whatnot.
Yes, sir. What's been going on with you, bro?
I'm just living life. You know how it is.
Yes, sir.
So, I mean, I don't have a NBA or NFL. I guess, whatever. To the Mario on here. How y'all think what would be y'all, I guess, Super Bowl pick, whatever, just some random ass question.
Right now, I don't know, but my Packers pick look like tonight's going to put them out. So yeah, I'm definitely wrong on that one. No way I'm picking the Vikings. I don't know, man. And the 49ers, maybe. But you got Jimmy G. I don't know. It's hard to call it, bro. At least from the NFC, from the AFC. I mean, the Kansas City, but shit, anything can happen in the AFC the way these games go sometimes. But the NFC is the toughest.
I meant to go back and look and see who I picked in the beginning of the year. I think I picked the 49ers and the Chiefs. And if so, I'll stick by that. Even though I wanted to be the Eagles, I'm not going to say that.
What you mean, bro? I thought you didn't say Jalen Hurts was elite, bro. What you mean?
I did not say that, man. Y'all keep saying that. I did not say you was elite. I did not. But I said that's what I want to happen because I am a fan. But I'm not gonna call that and jinx it. I ain't gonna do that, Q. So let me stick with Let me stick with my San Francisco pick.
Don't do that. Chill out.
Right.
That's funny.
Yeah. He in the league. Yeah, it take a little bit more than a good season to be elite.
About this question though, Tatum and Brown, best duo in the league.
Tatum and Brown. I mean, I guess you feel me. I have to be honest with you, bro. Like when it comes to basketball, I low-key has been watching a lot of basketball because it's just been like, I mean, main things I've been hearing about basketball is really like all the things that's going on, like really outside the court for real. So I mean, at least from what I've seen, they have been like, just been neck and neck with each other when it comes to being like the best duo. But like, that's just my honest opinion for real.
I think they're close. I think it seems like they might be.
They got the best record in the league, so that's what I look at. When you look, they made it to the championship last year.
Yeah,
and got the best record in the league this year. Who can we put above them? You know what I'm saying? Other teams have one clear-cut guy. This team could go either way. Either night, either one of them can be the lead scorer. So,
do you think that like they might be like, I guess, the only elite duo in the league right now? Because I really have been hearing about any other, what I'm saying, two players.
Pretty much, like I said, most of these teams are one-trick ponies, and the other person is normally like there's gaps with other teams. When you look at some of these other teams, there's Giannis and in his supporting cast. There's Luka and his supporting cast. Atlanta has a good duo, but once again, they're 9-6. Cleveland got good players all around, but there's still D Mitch and then the supporting cast.
Yeah.
So, like I said, when you talk about two guys that are both shining night in and night out, trading leading score roles, you don't know who's gonna take the last shot. It's Tatum and Brown to me. And like I said, they won a championship. I mean, they made it to the championship. Yeah. And here they are in first place. So here you go.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah.
What else you got going on?
What else you got, Igwe?
Well, it's back to the NFL. Like, my team, the Ravens. Like, well, they got look like they got an easy schedule. But how y'all think they gonna fare in the playoffs?
Hey, you got to see it through, my boy. I don't really know with that one. It's just Lamar is such a volatile situation because I don't believe in Greg Roman, and I'm kind of out on the Harbaughs, man.
Right. I was gonna say it doesn't look good to me, bro, and I tell you why. They're one trick pony again.
Yeah.
He has no running game, no support from the running game, and then the receivers are injured, and you bring in Deshaun Jackson, but you have no consistency on the outside. So it's kind of like hard to win when he ain't got no help. And he literally does not have any help. So I feel for him on that because we can't see the true Lamar for the fact that he has nobody to share that greatness with. All the great ones got somebody. They got something. You know what I'm saying? We talk about Patrick Mahomes, and he is great. He's elite, all that. But he at least has Travis Kelce. He got something. You talk about any of the quarterbacks you want to think about. Stephon Diggs with Josh Allen. All these guys have somebody. Jefferson even with Kirk Cousins. Lamar don't have nobody. We can't name that guy for him. So I think that's what's gonna hurt you.
I mean, to be fair, Mark Andrews is still an elite tight end, but he's hurt. So it's like who else you got? Like you got the running backs. Gus Edwards, when he came back, he was balling, but again, he got hurt again.
Right.
Kenyon Drake is like he's actually pretty good. I feel like he could do something with that, but and Devin Duvernay, I think he's like probably the best wide receiver on that team right now. But it's like they utilize him so little. It's like, what's the point? You feel what I'm saying?
He would be a special team on any other team.
Yeah.
And that's speaking of what we're talking about now. Devin Duvernay would be a kick returner, punt returner on most teams. He wouldn't even be, considered. And I was thinking Mark Andrews, of course, because he's been my fantasy tight end for the last couple of years. But like we talked about, he's hurt.
Yeah.
And he's still not Travis Kelce. He's not
Exactly.
explosive like that. He's more of a safety valve. But I feel for Lamar because we can't see his greatness.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, the only thing that Ravens really have for them besides Lamar is like the defense. I think the defense is still elite. I think the Ravens got one of the best defense in the league right now. But it's like, I mean, you don't score points with defense. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, how far can that team like really take you if it's like you don't really have that much depth in like at least one half of the ball, one half of the field. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, man. And and plus the rest of the schedule that they got is like it's easy. So it's like I don't know, bro. I don't like these schedules, man. It don't really test the players. You feel what I'm saying? It don't really test the team. It don't like it just like I mean you got the Panthers next. You got Baker Mayfield. Like come on now, like.
Yeah,
Like,
you got you got the Panthers, you got the Jaguars, you got the Broncos, Steelers,
yeah,
the Browns, the Falcons, the Steelers again, and the Bengals.
all of them are trash teams, bro. Like except for like Cincinnati. You know what I'm saying? Like Cincinnati probably gonna like at least bring a challenge, but it's like I don't know. I just feel like we got the type of schedule is gonna just feel like people is gonna be mad complacent or whatever, and then I don't know, bro. I don't know, bro. You feel me, yo? I mean,
I do. The unfortunate thing, and I thought about this too, because we talk about the Eagles having an easy schedule all the time. I thought about it like, dang, when you looked at the schedule at the beginning of the season, some of these teams just didn't show up. Like we had no idea that it was going to be this week for a lot of teams. A lot of teams got weak schedules because there's a lot of weak teams right now. It's more weak teams than it's ever been. This is one of the most mediocre seasons we've ever seen. It's these Thursday night games we can attest to.
yeah.
But like you look at this, a lot of people thought the Jaguars were going to do more. The Broncos were supposed to be in contention for a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Steelers, we didn't know what they were going to be, but it's Mike Tomlin, so we at least expect them to be a playoff team. The Browns got Deshaun Watson. So the Bengals. So looking at the schedule at the beginning of the season, it don't look so easy. But
Now, yeah.
Right. And that can be a positive at the same time because you
True.
can gain some momentum from that.
True.
So, I would take it from that angle. Like, we just need to keep everybody healthy. This Eagles run, all I've been thinking about is please stay healthy. Please stay healthy. That was my thoughts. I wasn't caring about whether it was a 80-0 blowout or 3-0. Just stay healthy. And of course that didn't work out. And of course it didn't work out for y'all either.
Sure. Hey, speaking on that, I got a question. Like, because I've been hearing, at least I've seen things online. Like, it seems like a lot of teams in the NFL are kind of playing mediocre, especially teams that we expect to play at a Super Bowl level. Do y'all think that? And then if y'all do, like, what do y'all think would maybe the cause of that?
What do you mean specifically?
Like, I mean, obviously we got the Broncos. We got the Browns. Who else? Then we got the Bucks. Like this team like this teams that you would expect to be like leading the NFL, especially
like who's underwhelming? You mean? Like
yeah. Like who's just playing like under their expectations.
I'm more surprised that. No, actually, I'm not surprised about that. I am gonna say I'm surprised that the Bengals are not more consistent than they they are. I'll say that.
I'm looking
Rams
at
Rams too.
Yeah, Rams too. Like they literally have the same team they had last year, but like what's going on with them?
I think for both those teams, I think this is closer to who they are than what we saw last year for both of them. To be honest, I think that they both got hot at the right time, and they both had some favorable breaks, some things that just go their way to get them to where they were. Which is not, it's not a knock to them; it's just the truth. We look at the Rams. They had about 3 or 4 different times in different games. The dropped interception from San Francisco. They wouldn't even been in the Super Bowl, but that team they overachieved, just like the Bengals. This is closer to who they are than last year. But
I disagree with the Rams, but maybe the Bengals. Yeah.
How come about the Rams?
Because I think a lot of this is the Super Bowl hangover. I think you don't have Von Miller, you don't have OBJ, and I think they can't run the ball. They were able to run the ball a little bit more effectively last year. There was some turnover on that team, but for them to be like as bad as they are, like a 3-6 team, nah, they wouldn't have been this bad last year. Stafford's been up and down, and Stafford came in the season hurt. He wasn't hurt last year, And Shelton, you were talking about, you were concerned about the elbow injury, and it's played out. I mean, so nah, I don't think they would have this same record have been this bad last year.
I can see that. And another reason I think that it's going the way that it's going is because, like with the Broncos, for example, is the lack of cohesion from playing together. There was no preseason for most of these guys.
Oh yeah.
And you have all these new moving parts. Like we look at the Raiders, you add in even though these guys know each other, you still got to get the reps. And these guys aren't getting the reps. And then in practice, we all know NFL players don't do anything in practice now. There ain't no tackling, none of that stuff in practice right now. So you just seeing some guys go through the motions and try to figure it out. And it takes some time. And this Green Bay, a lot of the NFL plays, and you think about how hard it is to pass the football. That's not an easy thing to do. And a lot of it is timing. And this timing is way off. You look at Green Bay, like I said, watching this game, their timing is so far off, it don't make no sense. And that comes from reps, time and time. And they didn't get it. So a lot of these guys, they're looking bad. Tom Brady on hiatus, chilling, trying to figure out his life situation. So he missed most of the preseason. The Browns don't know who their quarterback was going to be and how that play was going to play out. So, you got some teams with talent that's looking bad.
Especially the AFC West. Like, we all expecting them to be the best division in football, but, like, outside, obviously, Kansas City, like, they just trash to mid.
Right, 100%. And we think about that. We talk about the Chargers. The Chargers' number one receiver, Keenan Allen, ain't played all year.
Yeah.
That's huge. You know what I'm saying? He probably is who, built the most synergy with Herbert. So in saying that, losing him and, Mike Williams not being at full strength, having to play with your backup wideouts, it's a different game. It's just different. The Raiders, like I said, we added a new piece. Well, they added a new piece in Devontae Adams. You got to figure that out. Then you're playing without Waller. You're playing without Hunter Renfrow, who's been hurt most of the year. It ain't gonna look good. Denver, you lose Patrick, the one of the most steady receivers he had, probably not the most talented, but the most dependable receiver. He lost him at the beginning of the year. Jerry Judy's been in and out of the lineup. You have no synergy there. So none of these teams are who we thought they would be.
Yeah. The teams that we thought were about to be mid are actually top in the league right now.
Right.
Nobody expected the Eagles to go undefeated until now.
Right. No matter what the schedule looked like, you don't expect the team to go undefeated. I don't expect any of these guys to be 8-0. I just wouldn't expect it.
Yeah. It's a very weird season right now, but it's whatever though.
Yeah, facts.
As long as Tom Brady retires, I'm good.
Hey, you might not get to his, bro. He ain't got nothing to go home to now.
Oh my gosh, bro. I'm tired of it, bro.
Look forward to another 3 years of Brady. He has no reason to retire.
Oh, damn, bro. That man said, fuck them kids, bro.
He did.
He really did. And he said in that line 1 or 2 times. And he's like, man, this is not for me.
Hell nah, bro. God damn.
Oh man.
All right, man.
What else you got?
Nah, it's good though. That's really all I had. It's been real. Yeah.
All right, man. It's good hearing from you always.
All right. Catch y'all later.
All right, bro.
All right. Let me read these super chats and then we'll get out of here. We're a little over. Big Ben, it feels like the Celtics and Bucks are going to run away with the conference. Should the Bucks make a move, Middleton might not be the same coming back. I don't know what move they can make. I would like to see Middleton first, but I do agree he may not be the same when he comes back. And I think he got everything he could out of his talent, and within that system. But seeing how Clay is still trying to find himself, and some of these other guys, you might have a good point.
Right. But even without him being his full self, as long as he can come back and be serviceable and hit them shots, which that ain't gonna go nowhere, that may be all the Bucks need. They really don't need him to be dominant anymore.
Yep.
And so addition
Yeah.
may be subtraction.
Yep. Goatsman 231. I'll have to get Q's current MVP in the NFL. I'll see if he can send me a video on that and drop that on the channel. Since he already gone. CD, SGA, top 5 two-way guard pushing top 3. He is definitely balling.
Yes, sir.
So,
yes. I'm fine with that. Mm-hmm. I used to laugh, man. My brother used to talk about him all the time to me, and I'm like, come on, man, quit. But I owe him. I've had to apologize. I'm like, that dude, you right. He's that guy.
Yeah, he can play. Let me take a screenshot of this. And hold on, escape. Last one from Drink More Water. What's good, y'all? Got to sneak in a super chat. I give him a lot of flack, but I got to give credit when it's due. Embiid's 59-point game was one of the best games I've seen in my years watching the NBA.
Wow.
I have been meaning to go back and watch that, especially when I saw that he scored 26 of their 27 points in the fourth quarter.
Crazy.
And I have to see how that went down.
And Drink More Water. I wish we had gotten to this earlier because I wanted to ask Q too about that. Because I told Q in the chat, I said this James Harden thing may be addition by subtraction for this Philly team for now. It may work out better without him in the lineup. Because that's how I felt. At the time, Q was like, no, but I wonder if he still feels like that. Because it looked a lot better, since Harden has been out. The ball moves a little bit more, and you got Embiid more involved. It just looks better to me.
Yeah, maybe Maxey could be the mini Harden, so you don't know.
Yeah, and they are 7-7 now. Let me look at their record over these last few games because I cannot remember what it is. I know it's better than, of course, it's better than what it was, but I just think they're a better team. They're in the 9th spot right now. So 1, 2, 3-1. They're 3-1 in their last 4 games. They beat the Hawks, the Suns, and the Utah Jazz. So in saying that, I like the way it looks now, and I'm gonna continue to watch them closely. But I think that's addition by subtraction.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was the last one. So we appreciate all of the super chats as usual. We appreciate everybody calling in, man. Some great conversations tonight. Always good. Get a chance to chop it up with you guys. In person, as in person as we can get. So it was dope. Shout out to King Cam, Rod, Igwe, Josh Rose. Finally getting a chance to talk to him. Salute to all you guys, man. And that's it, man. We'll call it a night. We'll catch you guys Tuesday.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.